Yo, 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 what's going on YouTube? It is Yaze or Kamikaze or whatever you want to call me. Making a new YouTube video, trying to stay consistent. Um, if you're watching this now or you go back and watch this, yeah, I'm just ranting into the void. I have basically one subscriber, which is my girlfriend. So, really don't uh, have an audience, but just want to say I greatly appreciate it if you do watch this video. Um, I'm gonna have some just random Fallout New Vegas Nuclear Sunset TTW gameplay going on in the background. Recorded it last night. Um, I was uploading playthroughs, but they were getting flagged for copyright, so they are privated for now. Not that I'm talking in them anyways, but if you're interested in just watching a random person just kind of go through their first time playing New Vegas Nuclear Sunset. Not my first time playing New Vegas, but at least playing this mod list. Go ahead and check those YouTube videos out once they are back up. But yeah, I'm making this video, trying to make a video every single day. Some with me talking, some without, but trying to at least do one 10-minute video minimum a day and try and do that for the whole rest of the year. I've already slacked a little bit. This weekend I fell short just because I had some emergency stuff that I had to take care of with my family, so I had to drive to the New California Republic from New Vegas. I'm addicted to Fallout, so that's what I keep saying. But yeah, I had to drive from Vegas, where I live, to California to see family. But anyways, getting into the video, getting that rant and rambling out of the way, I kind of wanted to talk about my experience smoking weed. For about 12 years at this point, I've been smoking since I was 13 years old, like 13 and a half maybe. And it has been on and off, right? I think the longest I went without smoking was about 3 years, maybe four, probably three to be safe. Um, and that was a time of my life where I quit everything for a while, which that's a story for another time, another YouTube video. But anyways, just wanted to talk about my experience smoking weed and been doing it for so long, right? There's of course many others that have been smoking way longer than me, but I will at least attest to someone being 25 and have been smoking since 12, and I'm in this newer generation of kids that what it's like for me. Um, for me, growing up, it was around everywhere. There's actually a funny photo of when I was a very young child. I think I was like, continue. All right, the audio got cut off, but I'll do some magic to fix that. But anyways, when I was like three, we had workers working on the house one time, and I guess they were smoking weed. And back in the day, that would have been 2003, 2004. Um, Back then, weed was a little bit different. I can't speak to that days because I, again, was like 3 years old. But, the quality of weed was way different back then. So I guess one of the workers there was smoking and it must have had a seed because all of a sudden, about 6 months later, uh, a weed plant started growing in the backyard. And there's actually a funny photo of my that my mom took of me at 3 years old standing next to it, which maybe I'll show one day. But it's pretty funny. Some lore dropped there, some family lore. But it's always been around, right? It hasn't really been a well-kept secret, even when I was, conscious, 6, 7 years old. Um, I knew about it. Another story was I was on a trip with my family, or actually with my mom and my aunt to California to see family there. And my aunt and my mom had the same exact bag. And I needed clothes. And for some reason, again, very independent kind of as a 6 or 7 year old. My parents just kind of just were like, whatever. I have boomer parents. They're in their 60s now, so they were in their 40s and early 50s growing up when I was growing up. So they're pretty much just kind of hands off, go do it. So I needed to go get clothes, and I thought it was my mom's bag, but it wasn't. It was my aunt's bag, and she had a whole pound of marijuana in there. And I remember grabbing it and being like, why does my aunt have a bag of grass in here? That's weird. And it smells funny. So I didn't really quite know what it was. And I asked my mom, and she was like, she came up to that room and was like, you, what are you doing? You know that's the wrong bag. Put that back. You don't. That's it. You know, you don't know what that is. Don't worry about that. Um, that kind of sparked a curiosity in me at like 6 and 7 years old. Um, and then I always knew my parents and my aunt and uncles and whatnot were doing it, when they came by and stuff. So it wasn't really ever a secret. Um, so I kind of grew up kind of always wanting to try it out and do it and never really having that negative stigma around it. It's probably bad to say, but I mean, it worked out in the end, right? I'm not completely fucked up. But yeah, so it's just always been a curiosity of mine. So I tried it for the first time with my friends at 13, maybe 13 and a half, and that was a great time, fun time. I have no regrets smoking it over the past 12 years either. I think you should live your life with no regrets. And yes, should I have been doing it that early? No, I shouldn't have. And looking back on it, I reflect on that. And I'm here to say, don't start that early. If I had to do it again, I might have waited a little bit longer, but I don't regret it. Um, it was a great time. Just be careful doing it still, especially nowadays. I mean, it's probably more safe than more safe now than it was back then, considering there's so many dispensaries and legal ways of obtaining it now, compared to like back then when we were doing it. We found just random sketchy dude at school who had a plug, and that's how we got it. This is way different probably nowadays. I mean, you still got to go to a plug if you're underage, but it's probably a little bit weed's a little bit safer now. You probably don't have to worry about it as much of spice. That was a huge thing growing up. I've smoked spice on accident. That was a wild story. I'll save that for another time. But yeah, I don't know. Weed, just that the negative stigma around it's always been wrong in my eyes too. Um, and it's fun to do. Um, it can be an addiction, especially if you have to do it all the time, every single day, right? Like no matter which way you cut it, it is an addiction. The way that I define addiction is if it impacts your work or your personal life. If that doesn't affect those, then who cares, right? It's no different than coming home from a fucking long day of work and cracking open a beer, which we all know most people don't crack open just one. They usually go through half a case or a whole fucking case. And weed is arguably safer than alcohol by a long shot. I can tell you so many alcohol stories, especially in my family and personal life, that it just ruins lives. It's terrible, way worse than weed. But my advice, if you're still young and you haven't tried it, don't succumb to the peer pressure. Stay firm. But if you are curious and you trust that individual and you're with friends, give it a shot. But always be safe. Practice harm reduction. Look it up. That's a huge thing that I feel like is a problem that I always tried to do, even when I was young, as young as 15. 15 is when I started doing a bunch of different drugs. Look up what the drugs do. Seriously, there's Reddit posts. Erowid is probably the most goated drug forum in the world. It has real trip reports and whatnot of what's going on and what you should feel, what it's like. You can try and get scientifical data about what these compounds and substances do to you. I don't care what it is. Look up what it's supposed to do to you, what's the negative effects, the positive effects, everything that you can about it, because you should go into it as well informed as possible. One, for safety, but two, that way in your subconscious and your conscious mind, you know what you're getting yourself into and you know what to expect. Everything you read online, every single person's experience is different, but there's still always commonalities, and that's what you want to search for. but it's going to ease your mind going into whatever substance or compound or anything that you're going to do. It's just, it's something that I've lived by to this day. Even medical shit that my doctors prescribe, I look up and see what's going on. Because you should know what the fuck you're putting in your body. Not to get on a health rant or anything, I'm not the most healthy person. Trust me, these stories that you'll hear over time, they're definitely not of healthy, of a healthy individual. But I'm still alive, and it's still good information that you should practice. You know, if you're gonna do something illegal or potentially harmful, at least know what the fuck to expect and what's gonna happen when you're going into it. And that's just kind of my 2 cents on it. It's kind of turned into more of a rambling video. Sorry, there's not a little bit more structure. I'm kind of new to this, and if you stayed this long, I really appreciate you listening. You're goated. Leave a comment below. Thank you. You know, if you ever want to talk to me, leave a comment. Would love to chat in the DMs. Um, I have a normal 9 to 5 job, so during the day it's kind of hard, but after hours can always try it out. But really appreciate it. You know, I'm treating these videos and just trying to get them out even without proper editing or kind of proper structure, just so I do it. I'm finding out that I have undiagnosed ADHD, and for me, just I need to do it. If I try and worry about perfection and doing things every single time, I won't get it done. And over time, these videos will get better. I'll start learning more of the techniques for editing and how to, actually record these videos and make them entertaining. But for now, I'm just trying to get started and get stuff out. Um, so I actually start this because I've wanted to do this for a long time and I just haven't. Partially out of laziness, partially out of fear, and wanting to be overly perfect with it. And so this is my way of saying, fuck that. We don't need to be overly perfect. Let's just get it done and we'll fix it along the way. That has helped me out in various other aspects of my life, so I'm hoping it works now. And yeah, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. If you stayed this long, really appreciate it. Like, subscribe, comment below. If you dislike the video, leave your comments. If you think I'm a piece of shit, I'm a piece of shit. Um, Regardless, I'd love to hear whatever feedback you guys have and any suggestions moving forward. Thank you. Have a great day and take it easy.